In this video, I am going to show you how to fuse double-sided fusible batting to the back of 2.5 inch fabric strips. Your double-sided fusible batting is cut 2.25 inches. Your fabric strips are 2.5 inches. We use this in several of our patterns, and we use it in two different ways. In certain patterns, there is either a circular or oval way to construct them, and in some of our patterns, like the Anything Goes tote, it's just straight zigzagging, so you just need to worry about single strips. In the round method or oval method, you need to sew your strips together first. The order of your strips, you'll start at the center bottom, work your way out and up the sides. So that's the order that you need to sew your strips together, and you sew them just end to end, straight across the short ends, to create one long strip. In the straight or flat technique, you're simply fusing batting to the back of single strips. I'm going to put those aside for now, and I'm going to show you how to fuse the batting to the back of the strips. First of all, at the beginning of the strip, and this is the strip at the bottom center, fold over 1/2 inch over the fusible batting at the very beginning. And you're going to put the fusible batting on the wrong side of your fabric. Fold that over, flip it over, and when you flip it over, you have to remember that there's fuse on both sides. So you need to cover your ironing surface with either parchment paper or a Teflon sheet. So you fold it over that first piece, lay it down, and iron it. Continue to fuse and iron until you come to the end of your first batting strip. Take your second batting strip and just butt it up next to the first one. Flip it over. Make sure that there's no space in between those two strips. Butt it right up next to it and fuse that. Continue to fuse all the way until you have fusible batting on the back of all of your strips. For the strips that are just done straight, what you're going to do is just simply fuse batting to the back of each individual strip. The next step is to bring your strips over to the sewing machine where we will sew them. So move over to the sewing machine. Once you have all of your strips fused, what you will do is you will fold the raw edges to the center and then fold this in half, like that. Now I use a Microtext 90 needle and a straight stitch. You can increase the stitch length to a 3, I'll make it a longer stitch, and then you will start to stitch. Now, this is a little thick, and on many sewing machines, once you slide it under the presser foot, it may be a little tight. Just manually lift your presser foot, and most machines will do this. They will manually go up 1/2 to 1/4 of an inch higher than normal. Then you put your presser foot down, put your needle down in the down position if you have that, and then you will sew folding the raw edges to the center and sew down that outside edge. Now continue to fold, finger press a little bit, fold again in half, and stitch. To make this part just a bit easier, there is one other thing that you can do on your ironing board that may help to make this part just a little bit easier. So we are going to move back to the ironing board. This is double-sided fusible. So if you want to, before you go to your sewing machine, you can fold the raw edges in one more time and iron it. Because it's double-sided fusible, it will stay in that position. Then you simply take this to the sewing machine. I'll remove the other one. And instead of having to fold everything to the center, you are just simply folding this in half, making sure your folded edges match up, and then you're stitching straight down. This is a much quicker method. It is not in the pattern, but I find, and my assistant finds this method to be a little bit easier. That's it. I'll show you how to zigzag stitch in the next video.